For this video, we're going to look at more solving radical equations. We're going to solve some more difficult ones that we have not yet completed in class. A little bit more complex techniques to solve these. So for this one, we have the equation 2 times the quantity x minus 1 to the 4/3 power plus 4 equals 36. So the technique is to look at radical stuff on one side, excuse me, and non-radical stuff on the other side. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to subtract 4. So we get 2x minus 1 to the 4/3 power equals 32. And then I'm going to divide by 2, so I get x minus 1 to the 4/3 power equals 16. If we remember what this root means, it means we're taking something to the 4th power, and then we're also taking it to the 3rd root. In order to get rid of that, we want that power to be 1. So to compensate, I'm going to take both sides and I'm going to actually raise them to the 3/4 power, because remember, power to a power, we multiply those powers. So that would cancel out these powers, and I would be left with x minus 1 equals 16 to the 3/4 power. This can be simplified. The 16 can be simplified because 16 to the 4th root is 2. And remember, we can rewrite this as the 4th root of 16 raised to the 3rd power. So the 4th root of 16 is 2. 2 raised to the 3rd power is 8. So that simplifies our equation a lot, and we get x minus 1 equals 8. So then our solution is x equals 9. Makes it really easy. Because it's the 4th root, we might want to also look at a negative 8, but because it's an even power, then we want absolute value, so positive 2 is fine. Okay, so check for extraneous solutions. So I want to go back to my original and see if 9 makes sense. So 2 times x minus 9 to the 4/3 power plus 4 equals 36. So, I'm sorry, that should be 9 minus 1. 9 minus 1 is 8. If I take the cubed root of that, then I get 2, and then raised to the 4th power gets me 16. So I have 2 times 16 plus 4 equals 36. 2 times 16 is 32, plus 4 is 36. So I'm left with a good solution for that one. Hope that makes sense. Just watch for inverses or reciprocals of powers to get rid of an old power. Okay, let's try one more. Now this next one is much more difficult. So we're going to look at one that has 2 square roots in it. This one's a little bit harder because we actually have to square things twice. So in order to get the ball rolling, I'm going to square this twice. Yeah, it's going to be tough. So we have this. We're going to square this side, so we get. Let's look at foiling. So remember how to foil. We get the square root of x plus 10 times 3 minus x plus square root of 3 minus x, x plus 10. And we also square both of those. We have to also square the 5. So plus x plus 10 plus 3 minus x equals 25. Please work it through. That all I did was FOIL out. So when I FOIL, when I multiply square root of x plus 10 times square root of x plus 10, I get x plus 10. When I multiply 3 minus x times the square root of 3 minus x, I get 3 minus x. When I multiply them both, I get the other two factors. So then when I simplify, I get 2 times the square root of x plus 10, 3 minus x, plus that the x's actually cancel out here when I add them, plus 13 equals 25. So then I can subtract 13. X plus 10 and 3 minus x. And then I divide by 2, so I get the square root of x plus 10 and 3 minus x equals 6. I can now square it again to get rid of this square root. So we get x plus 10 times 3 minus x equals 36. By multiplying the left side out, we get 3x plus 30, and we get negative x squared minus 10x equals 36. So I'm left with negative x squared minus 7x plus 30 equals 36. In order to solve this, it is a quadratic, so I need to bring everything over to the same side of the equation. I'm going to finish it up here. So I tend to like positive coefficients of x squared, so I'm going to bring everything to the right side. So I get 0 equals x squared plus 7x plus 6. That gives me a factored form of x plus 6 and x plus 1. So that means that my two solutions are negative 6 and negative 1. Again, we have to check for extraneous solutions. So let's go back to the original and we'll double check. So I have the square root of, let's see, x. So let's try negative 6 first. So negative 6 plus 10 plus the square root of 3 minus negative 6 equals 5. Does this one work? Well, negative 6 plus 10 is 4. The square root of 4 is 2. 3 minus a negative 6, 3 plus 6 is 9. Square root of that is 3 equals 5. So that one checks. Let's check out the other one just to be safe. So if I have the square root of negative 1 plus 10 plus square root of 3 minus negative 1, negative 1 plus 10 gives me 9. So the square root of 9 is 3. 3 minus negative 1 is 4. Square root of 4 is 2. So that's also 5, and that checks. So in this case, we have no extraneous solutions. These two are our solutions. If you have an extraneous solution, that one is just excluded at the end. This is about the hardest kind of problem that you'll see in my class. So make sure you know how to do it. If you don't understand how to do this, and yeah, it takes a little bit of time and a little bit of work, please let me know. Bring questions to class.